And my name is Riddhi, and I first met David at UW, where we both are grad students, and he just recently graduated.
Dr. Lopez, you all from now on.
And we quickly became friends, and he became a very dear mentor for me. For my partner and I, getting to know Annie and David has involved being regaled by their adventures, going to the Cascades, Cuba, Iceland, and beyond. And it's involved waiting in line for the latest Star Wars movie, a long time, and discussing Frida Kahlo's work. It's involved discovering a mutual appreciation for the classic sounds of artists like Stevie Nicks, the Beach Boys, and the famous Muppets. It's involved protests against austerity and authoritarianism. And this spirit of adventure and appreciation for art, music, film, and a fearless commitment towards justice is strong in these two individuals. And although C-3PO might have calculated the odds of these two strong hearts finding each other in our Emerald City to be 3,720 to 1, we are brought together today to celebrate them overcoming those odds in a small but fierce act of courage. David, would you like to make your vows to Annie?
I would. Annie, you are the light of my life and my North Star. Little did I know that our first date nearly 7 years ago would be a preview of our future. You forgetting your ID and needing to immediately run back to your apartment 5 minutes after meeting. Me blathering on with no humility whatsoever about why music made after 2005 isn't very good. You pushing back on all my points and showing me that I'm not nearly as clever or cool as I like to think I am. Us sharing a conversation as equals for hours, no matter how frivolous or abstract the topic. I did not know it that night, but neither time, distance, nor lack of resources could keep me from continuing our conversation, even when you moved to New York only a few months later. Thank you for letting me love you and make these vows to you today. Annie, I promise to always be patient, even if you forget your ID at the most inopportune of times. I know it's because you're always present in the moment and value the spiritual over the material, and people over things. I promise to always be understanding, no matter how hard you push me at times. I know it's because you love me and won't let me sell myself short. I promise to always adapt to difficulty and change, no matter how challenging or unfamiliar. I know you would do the same. Today is a testament to that. I promise to always be forgiving, whatever mistakes may lie ahead. I know you share my values in rejecting anger and resentment as ways to cope with the inevitable challenges of a life together. I promise to continue to grow as a person and to never stagnate in my habits or interests. That includes doing my fair share of the dishes, even though I can't think of a more unpleasant task, and being open to new, challenging experiences such as watching rom-coms and going on technology cleanses. I promise to always be silly and never take myself too seriously. I know that laughter, goofy, weird voices, and age-inappropriate behavior are and will always be the lifeblood of our partnership, especially when things get hard. Annie, I am so grateful that you chose me to be your partner in this life. I have watched you grow into a force of nature, and I am so beyond happy to have been any part of that. The life we built together, the places we've seen, and everything we have achieved through mutual support shows that we can do anything we put our hearts and minds to. I can't wait to see what we do next. All right, 1, 2, 3. Come on, yeah, come on. Yeah.
great joy in front of all your closest family and friends, you are now pronounced partners, joined for the adventure of life. You may kiss.
So this may be the world's strangest way to start vows, but as you know, I've had my fair share of hang-ups with weddings and marriage in general. But as I've ruminated on this decision and the topic for literal years, as I'm known to do, you've waited patiently, never once pressuring me one way or the other. And I know that whatever I decided, you would still be by my side. You know, there's a lot of reasons that I had these hesitations and doubts, from the connotations associated with marriage and the idea that I had in my head. But what I've realized is that our marriage can be whatever we want it to be. And as you said to me one morning, when debating whether or not to watch a movie at 8 in the morning, we make the rules. What I've also realized is that by building a strong foundation with each other, we are actually able to be better friends and relatives. And part of what made me feel weird about, a wedding and even marriage is so much emphasis on this one relationship in our lives when we have so many that are so meaningful to us in so many different ways. But this wedding is a perfect example that by committing to each other, we are actually strengthening those relationships as well. And here, surrounded by so many people we love, I'm reminded that you've brought me into your family and embraced my family as your own, defending them even when I get snippy with them. You have taught me how to forgive, truly, and to truly appreciate every day with those we love. Also, as you said many years ago, every day is a treat. So on that note, I vow to try my absolute best to keep perspective about what's important and not stress about what's not. I promise to celebrate all of your victories and to share mine with you. I can't say I will always be patient and nice. I'm not gonna do that one. Thought about it. Crossed it out. I think after living together for 4 years, that would be brilliant. But no matter what happens, I promise to put our shared values at the forefront of our decisions and to try to think of others before ourselves while also staying true to ourselves, which is far easier said than done, but always feels easier together. And I won't promise that we won't run into rough times, because we already have many times in this past year alone, some very hard times. But I know that whatever happens, I will love you anyway.